What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. I want to give you a quick overview of some of the current data points, what's really moving the market, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Lucid is going down 1.18%, about 2 hours left in the trading day, low of $2.49, high of $2.54. Today, there's been no official news, no SEC filings, nothing really of substance posted on social media, so it has just been at the mere mercy of the broader market. And today has been somewhat messed up. So this week has been a lot of data points coming out for the market to digest. We had PPI, which wasn't necessarily the best. You had the Feds being relatively hawkish, and then you had PPI, which was relatively good with some undertone of some negative flags. So all of that, the market is trying to digest and equate that to interest rate cuts. I find like this market right now is just very backwards. Like all the market seems to be very focused only on when there will be rate cuts. I get it. It is a very good catalyst and would really help a lot of growth stocks such as Lucid and just the whole EV sector in general, but that shouldn't be the deciding factor, because I remember exactly at the beginning of this year, a lot of analysts were saying that 2024 we were going to have a epic recession, and that is because of companies missing on their earnings. Well, guess what? They haven't. Some, yes, have, but the bigger ones out there have still been hitting home runs. So it is possible that companies can still make money in a higher interest rate environment. So I just find that very flawed. As of right now for the July meeting, there's a very strong likelihood of no cut. So 87.6%. For the September one right here, it has gone up. So it was, I think, around 47, 57, and then now 62% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut, and then a 8.2% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. So in my opinion, if the market really is thinking that interest rate cuts are literally the only catalyst, then that means Lucid and many other growth stocks are going to be flat, if not negative, all the way up until September 18th. So that next Fed decision rate, or I guess this one right here. So in my opinion, it is just very, very messed up. And even what is more messed up, I get it, there was some potential red flags more associated to dilution that was brought up during the two conferences, but there was a lot of good catalysts as well. And I would have assumed that there'd be a lot of analyst ratings that would have come out. As of late, last one was done 29 days ago, $3 price target by RBC, Tom, who has a 53% success rating. So still, big money is overlooking Lucid for whatever reason. So let me know your thoughts on that. While I'm actually on Interactive Brokers, I'll give you a quick update on the Elliott Wave technicals. I think I talked on this like last week, but it does have a pivot point of $3.03. So for as long as Lucid is below that, then it is anticipated to get to the high ones or the low twos. So again, that's kind of what is happening as well. Today is more of a technical driven day alongside just digesting everything that has come out. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that's realistic for it to hit the low twos, or do you think it's just going to bounce off of maybe the next strong support and trend up higher? What's your thoughts on that? Going over some data points more specifically, let's start off with Lucid. So I do have TD up right now, but let's go over to Lucid. Currently, they are so suspenseful, but returning 151,000 shares, 28.41% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 251.57 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 96.63%, and then cost to borrow average is 25.55. You notice the cost to borrow minimum is 8.6. That has actually dropped quite a lot. The minimum has always been hovering around the 20 range. So there is a broker out there just kind of lowering it. And in the past, Lucid has always had one broker that physically pays people to short Lucid, like the stock itself. So I don't know if that is where maybe brokers are heading because they want to manipulate Lucid a little bit more. Even right now, with about 2 hours left in the trading day, I would anticipate shorts to increase their position, so kind of revert back and kind of buy back a lot of their shares, because right now Lucid is very, very close to this strike price. Market makers will not want Lucid to close at 250 or above, because that means they'll have to cover these 1,000 in open interest at that 250 strike price. for today, expiring on June the 14th. I know 1,000 doesn't really mean all that much, but $2.50 is also a very strong pivot for Lucid, and going into next week you do see 15,000 in open interest. So that is definitely something that market makers will want to suppress Lucid for, so they'll definitely want to make sure that they double down in any means possible, and that does mean as well shorting. So definitely a lot of manipulation might be coming down the pipeline going into next week, but we'll just have to wait and see. As far as right now, 136,000 in calls, 61,000 in puts. Sentiment wise, 51% of all the options being done today is bearish. And one thing that I just wanted to bring up, and this is kind of unrelated to what is happening, like I guess specific to Lucid, but there is this. I'm sure some of you that like soccer/football, the Euros. So Germany is playing Scotland today and many others and whatever else, but this is, in my opinion, another big marketing fail from Lucid. And I don't really understand what Peter is saying when he kind of recently mentioned at the Evercore conference or the summit that they've stepped up their marketing. And I get it, they did switch VPs, and I think they're being a little bit more active on social media, but this is a perfect example of something that Lucid is literally missing out on. And I get it. If Lucid, for instance, didn't have any studios in the host country, then yeah, you can just omit it and whatever, just do some stuff online. But it's actually being hosted in Germany, and Lucid does have quite a few in Germany. So let's go across the pond. So this is the States. So you do see at least, I think it was 2 studios in Germany, and quite a few of these right here, the actual mobile service hubs. So they do have a fairly big presence in Germany. So this is very just annoying to me because they've missed out on the World Cup, and that was in Qatar. They could have made a lot of good money and laid the foundation for many pre-orders, and now they're messing up on this. So when Peter did say that they're working on marketing, I'd really like to see what their discussions are. What do they think is actually working versus not? Because them focusing on word of mouth as well as just test drives, yeah, that's good, but clearly it's not fully working. So in my opinion, I feel like this is something that they should have really jumped all over. They still do have a good opportunity to do that. I think this goes on for like a month, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Going over here, so you do see absolutely no transactions. Well, you see one transaction above $100,000 being done today, but it was a sell. You can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price, and that was for $453,000. Even looking yesterday, you had roughly, was it like 9 transactions, all sells, and once again you can tell that based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price. So big money is just not looking at Lucid whatsoever. And this is something I do frequently say, that no stock out there will ever hold any support levels if institutions are not buying. If they are just selling or just completely overlooking the underlying asset, then you're not going to have support levels being created. And this is why Lucid is just freely going up and down all over the place. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. Do you think I'm just being overly critical, or do you think I'm kind of on point? What's your thoughts? And right now with it at $2.51, it did break recently below this S1. So currently trading between this S2 and this S1. 236 is that next strong support, and then $2.56 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. But like I said, I do anticipate more of a suppression for it to close at $2.49 or possibly lower today, and that is because of just manipulation. So shorts might get a little bit more active on the actual chart itself. So it is lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. Stochastic, you do see it very oversold, and as well you do see a bearish deviation, so red line above the white. And looking at momentum, retail is selling. So right now you do have a very bearish outlook on the technicals, which of course the 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗚 technicals did kind of project that as well. So retail is selling as well as institutions. So at what price point would you buy Lucid, or are you just done until maybe the $1.50 or $2 range, or what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And even though Lucid goes up, down, sideways, loop to loop, all over the place, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.